Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Shalom, Israel. This is ISUPK, started at the 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. The ISUPK is not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite groups or religious organizations. The ISUPK has been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans their culture, history, according to the Bible since 1969. You know what I'm saying? This is the ISUPK Nashville, Tennessee school location on 1811 Dr. D.B. Todd Boulevard in North Nashville, Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Where you can come get these classes, you know what I'm saying? Get the brotherhood and everything for free. You know what I'm saying? We don't charge nothing. We don't have no NDAs to sign. We don't got no contracts. We don't want it in your banking accounts. You know what I'm saying? We are not these other fake Hebrew Israelite groups. You know what I'm saying? We ain't saying they fake according to them being Israelites, because we know they're Israelites, but they do not teach the scriptures according to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? They put their own understanding into these things. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to what's to say? They are the modern day Pharisees. You know what I'm saying? Sadducees and Pharisees. They rather follow after our oppressors' laws. You know what I'm saying? They rather us do everything according to a script or a guideline that's damn near COINTELPRO-ish. You know what I'm saying? The same thing that took down the Black Panthers, the same thing that took down all these other organizations that was trying to do good for our people. You know what I'm saying? But this organization right here is ordained by the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But what we got going on tonight, you know what I'm saying? I got to say, hey, the Passover's coming up, right around the corner. I think we're less than 30 days. No, we ain't that close yet, but we are less than 40 days away from the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you pay your Passover fees, get your travel ready, your affairs in order. You know what I'm saying? Get your babysitting, everything in order. Your pet sitting. Do what you got to do to be in Houston, Texas, this April 1st through the 5th. You know what I'm saying? What is it, on the 4th? When's the Passover? On the 4th. But make sure that you are there. You know what I'm saying? It's $200 for every person that's 17 and over. You know what I'm saying? It's a very glorious moment. It's going to be the largest Passover yet. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be at the B&H. Well, I don't got the particulars with me, but let's go ahead and get in this class. You know what I'm saying? This class is how the law of a kinsman is an honorable thing. You know what I'm saying? The law of a kinsman is honorable. You know what I'm saying? Which we'll get into it where what am I trying to say? The law of a kinsman is like if, just off the top of my head, say me and Yashapa, we get married. You know what I'm saying? We don't have an opportunity to have children. I pass away. So now she's a widow. You know what I'm saying? My brother, you know what I'm saying, is obligated to take her as a wife and have a child for me. You know what I'm saying? In my name. So my name will carry on. You know what I'm saying? So let's let the scriptures talk and let them explain it, and I'll break it down to you. You know what I'm saying? This is another thing where it'll prove, you know what I'm saying, that the Christian church, our oppressors don't understand the Bible. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand our culture. They try to put their own spin on it. So we'll follow after them. If we don't have the understanding and they keep us from having understanding of our culture, you know what I'm saying, then they can dictate and say anything within in that. You know what I'm saying? And just like they have been doing, you know what I'm saying, with Christ being turned Caucasian. He looked like Patrick Swayze, you know what I'm saying, standing in the wind. So let's get to it. The first I'm gonna go to is Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 5. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna see where this uh where this tradition of the Israelites, you know what I'm saying, is explained. So let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. So about 25 and 5. Could could you do a sound check? Puppet show? Is good? All right. Farquaad, you got it? Yes. Come. All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25, verse 5. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. So what's it saying there? You know what I'm saying? If the woman or the wife becomes a widow, you know what I'm saying, don't go to a stranger. Do not go to somebody that you don't know. So lucky. Move this out the way. Bear with me. Keep on wanting to look down at the screen. Don't somebody that you don't know. Just like how most times people in today's age, you know what I'm saying, whenever there's not any honor in the family, because when a widow passes away without child, they want to say let her mourn, of course, but then she'll just go off and find somebody else. You know what I'm saying? She'll go cry on somebody's shoulder at work, or somebody that they grocery store. You know what I'm saying? They don't think, or we haven't been taught, you know what I'm saying, this law that we should keep the law of Kinsman. You know what I'm saying? Let's see why she shouldn't go out to a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her. You know what I'm saying? Her husband's brother. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to keep, what's that? Sure. Oh, I'm not worried about that. They want to keep everything inside the family, type net. This is almost like an inheritance. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out into a stranger. Stay within the family. You know what I'm saying? Because you've married into the family already anyway. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep reading. And take her to him to wife, and to perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. He is the kinsman. He is the duty of a brother. And the thing, the duty of a brother, because I, you know what I'm saying? Because what they always say, if you die before me, I want you to be happy. Ain't that something that they always say? I want you to meet somebody who's going to treat you right. So in this world that we live in, you know what I'm saying, that's a hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? To find somebody that's going to treat you right, that loves you for you. You know what I'm saying? One thing that you know, if your husband's brother, you know what I'm saying, which the, in our community or our culture that we court. So during that courting process, of course, you're gonna meet my brothers, my sisters, my mother, my father, my, you know what I'm saying, grandfather, Lord willing they still around, all my cousins, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be familiar with each other. You know how my household runs. You know that we keep the law, statutes, and commandments, that the law is not done away with. You know what I'm saying? So that you're gonna be honored in this house. You know what I'm saying? Why outsource? Why take the chance of running into an African, you know, that promises the world to you, then rob you in the forefront? You know what I'm saying? Why would you take that chance? So it's a duty of my brother, if I ever to leave this earth, you know what I'm saying? If me and my wife is without child, he would perform the duty of a brother and take her to wife. Let's see why he would take her to wife. Verse 6, and it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead. You know what I'm saying? That the firstborn that she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead. So therefore, that child will be dedicated towards me. That child will be the house of Parak Gabar. And that's an honorable thing for my brother to give up, you know what I'm saying, that firstborn, just like we give up our firstborn unto the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Everything that passes through the matrix, the firstborn is of the Lord. So it's an honorable thing for my brother to bear seed for me, so my name will live on. Right? Let's keep going. That his name be not put out of Israel. So my name will be remembered. So whenever that child runs around, he carries my name. He'll live in my steps. He will be the house of Parak Gabar. You understand? Verse 7. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, flip side, like every coin, there's a head and there's a tail, right? Then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders and say, my husband's brother refuses to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my brother, my husband's brother. You know what I'm saying? So there's a plus side to it and there's a negative side to it. Because if we be realistic, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that everything was perfect back then, but you know what I'm saying? It's just how it is now. Some people don't want to take the responsibility to marry somebody else's wife or a widow or their brother, even their brother. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't even want to do that. They're so selfish. You know what I'm saying? They got something going on in their life. You know what I'm saying? Or they see somebody else that they'd rather be married to. They don't want to, they don't necessarily want to deal with the burden of raising a child that is not his own. They just can't see the glory in doing such a task, right? Let's keep reading. Verse 8. Then the elders of the city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he stands to it and say, I like not to take her. Verse 9. Then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders and loosen his shoe from off his foot and spit in his face. That's disrespectful. This is how dishonorable turning away to being your doing the husband, being a husband's brother, to saying no, not wanting to raise up your brother, keeping his name alive in Israel. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to do something in honor of, but would you take this step? Do you love your brother enough to want to keep his name alive? There's a lot of things that you have to ask yourself. It's a very, very courageous, you know what I'm saying? Courageous thing to step up for your brother and have a child in his name, knowing it won't be your child, but you'd have to raise this child with his wife or with the deceased wife, your brother's wife. Let me see. Hold on. Well, let's go to a situation. Next, we'll go to Genesis chapter 38, verse 6 through 10. And we'll see where this came from, how this became a part of our law for us. And really, if you think about it, it had to be, it lets you know that the law has been here forever. This next verse right here. Because they try to say that everything came through Moses. The law of Moses. Genesis chapter 38, verse 6. Genesis chapter 38, verse 6. Because everything, whenever the Most High breathed the breath, gave Adam the breath of life, you know what I'm saying? That was the law. What to eat, what not to eat. You know what I'm saying? What was clean, what was unclean. You know what I'm saying? Everything was given unto Adam. There was more than just Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? That narrative is such BS. So how the Christian church understands that everything's made through incest. Everything's made through incest. So Alabama must be the holiest city, holiest state in the United States. West Virginia is a Mecca. You know what I'm saying? It's the Lord's country, because it's rumored to have a lot of incest going on in those cities. I mean, states. You know what I'm saying? You swap this? All right, well, let's get into it. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 38, verse 6. Verse 6. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. Verse 7. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. Verse 8. And Judah said to Ammon, go unto thy brother's wife and marry her, and raise up seed for thy brother. So this is way before Moses and Aaron. This is way before we was in Egypt, way before we crossed the Red Sea into the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? And Jacob told Onan, go into thy brother's wife and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. You know what I'm saying? This is a part of our culture. So right now, in this captivity that we're in, it's not normal. You know what I'm saying? We are not used to this. We have been brainwashed by the oppressor's ways. You know what I'm saying? They rather have homosexuality and what's that? Transgenderism and what was that? Alternative lifestyles instead of what's written, thus saith the Lord. What's written into the Bible. You too well? Yeah.
Clear on this.
Yeah, we'll have to do something with that. But they rather have us follow after their ways. You know what I'm saying? Their laws. They're making abortion. You know what I'm saying? They rather us not have children at all. They really want us to see us wiped away. But the Lord said that we'll be numbered by the sands of the seas. You know what I'm saying? And this process right here is an honorable process that'll keep one of your loved ones' name still circulating in the earth. You understand? Let's keep reading. Verse 9. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass when he went into his brother's wife that he spilled it on the ground. So he just dishonored his brother. He just disobeyed his father, which this is a law. We don't think Jacob just made this up on his own, dude. Because it just reiterated Deuteronomy 25, verse 5. This is a custom of the Israelites, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is your custom, your ancient custom. Not go and just have sex with whoever. Not let the wife go out and just meet some stranger and then she'll become a stranger. You understand? Let's keep reading. Let's see the outcome. Verse 9. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass when he went to his brother's wife that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to deal with it. He didn't want to deal with the responsibility. Verse 10. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord. Therefore, he slew him also. So, you know what I'm saying? There was no winning. He wasn't going to win. He should have just been obedient. It's a lot. It's lucky. Let's keep that window, that curtain open. All right. Verse 11. Then Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remained a widow at his father's house until Salah, my son, be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he die also, and his brother as his brethren did. So therefore she was preserved as a widow, so the younger son would grow up. You know what I'm saying? So that's the custom right here. So let's go to see if they followed the same custom in the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how the Christian church always say, hey, the law's done away with. You know what I'm saying? When Christ got here, he done away with the law, even though that he says not one jot or one tittle. Hold on, Slocky. Let's go ahead and get that. Let's go to Matthew 5 and 18. Matthew 5 and 18. Because if we don't know by now, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, that the Christian church, Catholic church is full of crap, that all they do is lies, all they tell is lies, all they want is your money. That's what drives the Christian church. Your money. He wants a Cadillac. He gonna lock you up in the church, asking for $10,000. Every member in this church to give me $1,000. Hey, usher, lock the door. Lock the door. They ain't trying to teach you nothing that's true in this Bible. You know what I'm saying? They got a pre-written script of prosperity, pre-written script of if you tithe with all your soul, God will heal you. You know what I'm saying? They done turned the Father's house into a gambling spot. You know what I'm saying? It's to knock us all over again. If you from Nashville, Tennessee, and you old school, you know about Tanakas out North Nashville. They turned the church into a whorehouse, a gambling house, a den of thieves. That's all the church is nowadays. They got a bunch of smooth words, make you feel good, play the music, fly down from the ceiling, shoot some fireworks. It's a big distraction. Have you looking everywhere but where you need to be looking. That's in the scriptures. They don't know any breakdowns of the scriptures. They're afraid to say that Christ is black when it's in the Bible. But now Christ's image does not matter. But you got white Jesuses all over the city, all over the world. Christianity is white supremacy. It's the main tool to destroy Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans' minds and spirits. The main tool. It's not meant to fix. It's meant to pacify them. It's meant to make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? What do you think being baptized by fire mean? John the Baptist did baptize with water, but Christ baptizes with the Holy Spirit. You have to go through something. You have to be cleansed. You have to purge out that sin from your life. Whatever bad habits that you brought, that you're dealing with, them demons that you got floating around you, the only way that you'll purge them out is through the scriptures, through brotherhood, through sisterhood, doing something that your body is telling you not to. It's just like taking medicine. When you're a little kid and your mama tried to give you the medicine, or your pops try to give you some medicine, and you don't want to take it because it's nasty. Well, this truth can get nasty because it's going to make you physically do something that you don't want to do. And that's keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Because we've been living in wickedness for so long, it's weird. You know what I'm saying? I get asked all the time, what you mean you don't eat pork? You Muslim? No. You know what I'm saying? The Bible tells me not to eat pork. know what I'm saying? And I break it down in Leviticus where it tells you not to. Then they tell you, well, it's Old Testament. That's done away with. So why you still paying tithes? If it's Old Testament, it's done away with. Tithing's in the Old Testament. That's a law. That's a law. So the law is done away with. So that means I can go kill. I can go steal. I can go sleep with my brother's wife. We can do that now, right? We can do it. I don't think so. So if I get caught sleeping with somebody's wife, what does that man want to do to me? He want to kill me off with his head. You know what I'm saying? So how can you get rid of the natural law and order? You can't. There's always going to be a law. As the sun goes up, sun goes down, trees grow leaves and fruit. The leaves are bare during the winter, but it grows during the spring. That's them following orders. They're ordered to do so. It's a cycle of life. But anyway, let's get this Matthew chapter 5, verse 18. And these words are, you got what color is written in? These colors are written in red. So this is Christ talking. This is Christ talking. And I don't see how the Christian church wiggle out of this. They it's like they playing dodgeball and they dodge this one. You know what I'm saying? Verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass. Is heaven still here? Is the sky still here? You look up, it's blue skies or clouded skies. The heavens are still here. And earth pass. We still walking on ground. We're still walking on ground. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. That's point blank. That's like a bullet. The bullet Charlie Kirk took. Point blank. You can't weasel around it. You can't make it be anything other than that. No line or no dot, no jot or no tittle shall no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. So just think of it. All of your Christian pastors, all your Muslim imams, they're already there. They're already going to be the least. All these so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American religious leaders will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them. So if the law's done away with, if Christ done away with the law, why is he saying this out of his mouth right now? Whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. I want to be great. I don't know about anybody else. I know about the brothers and sisters in the ISUPK. We want to be great. We want our crowns. We want rulership. And we want order. We want decency, order, and discipline. How can we rule? That's why we're in the position we are now. We don't have any discipline. We don't have law. We don't have a moral compass. We've been taking the scraps, EBTs, and food stamp vouchers, and WIC vouchers, spiritually from the oppressor, from the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now our people are in disarray. Now, our people don't understand or look at us like we're crazy whenever we talk about the law of a kinsman, the duties of a brother. People turn their nose up at us, saying that we're in a cult because we follow the one and only book that they say they follow. They follow after the God of the Bible. Really, who they follow is the oppressor. The white man's they God. That's who they serve. They'll do the speed limit, but they won't eat. But they'll keep eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. They keep on envying their brother, having hatred towards their heart for their brother or their sister. But they'll do their taxes. They'll make sure they get that tax return, pay them taxes. They'll make sure they turn that music down after 10 o'clock hit. They don't want the slave catchers to come to their door knocking. But they ain't afraid of who created them coming to their door knocking. That death angel come to your door. But let's get back on track. Let's go to Matthew chapter 22, verse 23. Verse 23. It's what? But everybody's so caught up in what people think of them. Whenever it comes to people coming into the school, we got so many people like, yeah, I believe what you're saying. Yeah, they ain't right. They doing all this and that, but they won't follow the Lord and come into the school because they're afraid to be shunned. They're afraid of what their family gonna think of them. They're afraid of what losing their job or losing whatever status that they have socially. When all that is nothing. It's nothing compared to being in the truth. I'll trade in everything to have the opportunity to rule amongst my peers, the brothers who go to war with me, the brothers I'd lay my life down for, the same that will do the same for me, right? But this is Matthew chapter 22, verse 23. Verse 23, the same day came to him Sadducees, which say there's no resurrection, and asked them, verse 24, resurrection just means rebirth, being reborn. You're born, you live, you die, you go back to the Most High, you're reissued, reborn. Verse 24, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife. So here's the same thing in the New Testament that was taking place in the Old Testament. Because if they didn't believe in this, then why are they asking these questions? If a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. Where did we read that in? We just got finished reading it in the book of Deuteronomy. We just got finished seeing Jacob telling Judah, Israel, telling Judah or Onan to lay with his brothers, his widows, his brother's widow, so he can raise up a son for him. Verse 25. Now there were thus with us 7 brethren. At first, when he had married his wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Verse 26. Likewise, the second also, and the third unto the 7th. Verse 27. And last of all, the women died also. So why are they asking this of Christ if the law's done away with? This is a part of our culture. This is a part of our culture. Let's see another instance. Let me see. Shatu. Let me see. Go to Ruth chapter 3, the book of Ruth. Started verse 3. Just go to chapter 1, verse 3, just to get some context in this. You talk. This is the book of Ruth, chapter 1, verse 3. And Amalek elects, let me don't butcher the man's name. Naomi's husband died, and she was left with her 2 sons. Verse 4. And they took them wives of the women of Moab, and named one was Orpah, and the name of the other was Ruth. And they dwelled there about 10 years. All right, let me see. Let's see. Salakia. Well, let's go to 3 and 1 after that. So, in a nutshell, they was married, and during the famine, the sons passed away with no child. Right? All right, the book of Ruth, chapter 3, verse 1. Verse 1. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, My daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? Verse 2. And now is not Boaz our kindred with those maidens thou wast? Behold, he knoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor. Verse 3. Wash thyself before thee, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor. But make not thyself known by the man, until he have done eating and drinking. Verse 4. It shall be when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie, and thou shalt go in, and uncover his feet, and lay with thee, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. Now, this is a situation where Boaz, which is a near kinsman to Naomi, and that she is trying to convince Boaz to take her as his wife. You know what I'm saying? To bear a child for the son that passed away that Ruth was married to. Let me see. Let's drop down to 11, verses 3 and 11. Verse 11. And now, my daughter, fear not. I will do to thee all that thou requirest. Because, let's see, hold on. Let's drop back to 8. Slocking. Verse 8. It came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid and turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. And he said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handsmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thy handsmaid, for thou art the nearest kinsman. So she's acknowledging to Boaz that he is the nearest kinsman. You know what I'm saying? Verse 10, and he said, Blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning. And as much thou followest not young men, whether rich or poor. So that she was a modest woman. So she's not running around following young men, rich or poor. You know what I'm saying? Because she understands that she wants him to follow the law of the kinsman. You know what I'm saying? Because her husband had passed away and she had no child. So let's keep reading. Tarry this night, and it shall be in the morning that if thou wilt perform unto thee the part of a kinsman, well, let him do the kinsman's part. But if he will not do the part of a kinsman to thee, then I will do the part of a kinsman to thee. You know what I'm saying? As the Lord liveth, lie down until the morning. Verse 14, and she lay at his feet until the morning, and she arose up before one could know another. And he said, Let it not be known until the woman became unto the floor. So what their little dealings, they kept it to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because she's trying to entice him. You know what I'm saying? Because she wants him to be the law of the kinsman, but there's other kinsmen. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to chapter 4. This is the book of Ruth, chapter 4, verse 1. Then went Boaz up to the gate and sat down there, and behold, the kinsmen of whom Boaz spake came by. So this is other men that was eligible. Right? Whom he said, Ho, which such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down. Verse 2, and he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, sit ye down here. And they sat down. Verse 3, and he said unto the kinsman, Naomi, that is come again out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land which was which our brother Elimelech, verse 4. And I thought to advertise thee, saying, buy it before the inhabitants and before the elders of my people. If thou wilt redeem it, redeem it. But if thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know, for there is none to redeem besides thee. So this person who he's talking to, they're the only two who can redeem this. They're the closest kinsmen, right? Then tell me that I may know, for there is none to redeem it besides thee, for I am after thee. And he said, I will redeem it. Verse 5, when said Boaz that day that thou buyest the field of the hand of Moab, thou must also of Ruth the Moabite. You know what I'm saying? So he thought he was just going to buy the land and not take Ruth the Moabite as a wife. That was a part of the package because this land belonged to the son. Let's go. The wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. So that's the kicker. So just like when in Genesis 38:6, when he spilled his seed on the ground, whoever he's talking to now, he didn't want to take Ruth and raise up a son for the dead. So let's keep reading. Verse 6, and the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I merit mine own inheritance. Redeem thou the right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it. Verse 7, for this was the manner in former times in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing for to concern all things. A man plucketh off his shoe. Here goes his shoe. when the lady, when in Deuteronomy 25, when the person didn't want to redeem it, she spit in his face and took off his shoe. But this is cordially between two kindred about the situation, and gave it to his neighbor, and this was a testimony in Israel. Verse 8, therefore the kinsman said to Boaz, buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe. Verse 9, and Boaz said to the elders and unto all the people, ye are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Elimelech's, excuse me, I'm butchering his name, and all that was Chilion's and Mahlon's of the two hands of Naomi. Because you got to think, because one rib of the son went back to her people, and Ruth said that let your God be my God. You know what I'm saying? Let her power be her power, her authority be her. They would share the same authority because she didn't want to leave Naomi. Verse 10, moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon the inheritance. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, that inheritance wouldn't leave that family. It wouldn't get spread, or it wouldn't get took by somebody else. So the inheritance of Mahlon's would stay with that child. In that name, in the name of Mahlon, in the house of Mahlon. But Boaz played his part in the law of a kinsman, or the law of a brother. that the name of the dead will not be cut off among his brethren, and from the gates of his place. Ye are witnesses this day. In verse 11, and all the people that were in the gates and the elders said, we are witness. And the Lord make the women that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel, and do thou worthily in Ephrath, if if Ephratah, and be famous in Bethlehem. You know what I'm saying? And if she ain't famous, she's surely famous. You know what I'm saying? Ruth, Boaz, they are part of the lineages of Christ. You know what I'm saying? But that right there is the law of a kinsman. You know what I'm saying? Explaining the law of a kinsman, what takes place and what has to be done to fulfill this law. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this is the ISUPK Nashville, Tennessee School on 1811 Dr. D.B. Todd Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? The next feast, it will be the Feast of Purim, which is going to be March 2nd and 3rd, Monday and Tuesday. You can find that in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. You know what I'm saying? Remember, pay your tithes, pay your Passover fees, do all that. Get ready, get your stuff in order, man, because it's going to be a gloriful week. You know what I'm saying? We got the slaughter of the lamb on Wednesday. Thursday, we have John Hyman's scripture breakdown. We got day parties for the kids on Friday. The all black parties going on Friday. What was it going to be? It's going to be a horseback ride. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about the horseback ride. I might just walk beside. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's that nigga doing on that nag? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I hope that this was very enlightful for you. You know what I'm saying? Enlightful for you. You know what I'm saying? But this is the ISUBK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. The ISUBK is not affiliated with anybody, any religious organization, or Israelite groups. You know what I'm saying? And the ISUPK has been affiliated since 1969. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know the truth, if you want to know how to fight your demons and become a new man or woman, you know what I'm saying? Get in class, please. You know what I'm saying? But that's my time. Shalom. All right.